Joe Biden's back. He's back on the stage. Yo, man's got that kick in him still. No, not kick the streaming service, but no, he's doing his crazy speeches. And I've got 3 videos here. And the only reason why I'm playing these is because, my God, I think they stopped giving him his serum, his medicine, whatever they're doing. I think they stopped it now. So we're seeing Biden in full peak form. Brace yourself.
But guess what? Under my administration, it goes straight to this county. One of my best friends. My name's Joe Biden. I'm from Scranton, Pennsylvania.
One of my best friends. My name is Joe Biden. I'm from Scranton, Pennsylvania. Oh. Okay. Hold on. The rambling isn't over yet, folks. I feel bad playing these, but at the same time, I don't. Because there are so many people like TYT, sorry, BSDNC, I mean MSNBC, Dime Store Eminem and his mommy, I mean Kyle and Crystal, and so many others saying that Biden was sharp as a tack. You had liberals and progressives and people saying that this man was their dog in the fight.
You no longer be the manufacturing capital of the world. Where the hell is that written? We are the greatest manufacturing city or county in the world, state in the
This is at a Harris Walsh event, man. Somebody thought it was a good idea to bring this guy on the stage. He's like, blah, 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 blah. Hold on. You know what? Maybe I'm going crazy. Maybe I'm not listening.
Is that written? We are the greatest manufacturing city or county in the world, state in the world, in the world. We're going to remain that way.
But then finally, folks, listen. I'm a part of me is going to miss Joe Biden. What do you mean, Kit? I'm going to miss hearing his stories. The stories of the crazy old man.
I remember when my great-grandfather was only the second Catholic elected statewide to the state Senate here in Pennsylvania. And I remember they talked about when they're running against him in 1906, they said, guess what? They said, he's a Molly Maguire. You know what a Molly Maguire was? Well, those of you who don't, a Molly Maguire back in the
like Kamala's like panicking because she's wondering, oh no, he's having one of his senile moments. He might say something racist. Which, by the way, look, Biden's of that very, 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 very old generation, okay? If you know, you know. She's so apprehensive right there. She's so like, oh, please, Biden, don't say anything stupid. And there's a lady right here. She's kind of preparing for it. Or either that she's making that face like maybe Biden crapped his pants. And all these people don't even know a Molly Maguire. Hold on. Let's actually look that up here. Because in case Biden gets it wrong, we're at least do breaking news. What is a Molly Maguire? Hold on. What is a Molly Maguire? Hold on. Okay. The Molly Maguires were a secret society of Irish coal miners in the United States who were active in the 1860s and 70s. Their goal was to protect their members from oppressive mine owners. The Molly Maguires are said to have resorted to violence to achieve their goals, such as planting gunpowder to destroy mining equipment. Whoa! All right, give it up for the secret society of the Molly Maguires, I guess. Take it to those coal mining bastards. The bosses, that is. There you go. All right, Molly Maguire. All right.
1906, they said, guess what? They said, he's a Molly Maguire. You know what a Molly Maguire was? Well, those of you who don't, a Molly Maguire, back in the old days, when we Irish and the Catholics came, and then the Poles and others that were Catholic, when they came to the United States of America in the beginning of the 1840s, and late 1840s, they made their way down into Pennsylvania. A lot of them, and there's a tier in the coal mines. Those guys who got there last ended up being the last people in the coal mines. But a lot of the English owned the coal mines. And what they did was they'd really beat the hell out of the mostly Catholic population that was in the mines. Not a joke, not a joke. But there was a group that called the Molly Maguires. And the Molly Maguires, if they find out the foreman who was taking advantage of an individual, and they literally kill him.
Ah, look at Kamala. Look at Kamala. Look at him. Look. It's hilarious. She's dying on the inside. And Prim 54, he's in full Grandpa Simpson mode. I used to wear an onion on my hip, which was a style at the time. I can't wait till I'm very old. I can't wait till I'm old and I get to regale the next generation. Back in my day, the internet took a time to dial up. And back in my day, before the smartphones really took over in our brains, we had flip phones. My favorite flip phone was a Katana from Samsung. It was sleek and it looked very sharp. Be quiet, old man. Quit speaking of the past. Back in my day, I remember when gasoline would go for $1. I do remember seeing $1 gas when I was a young kid. I know I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy.
Not a joke. And they bring his body up.
Oh God, he's talking about dead people.
Maguires. And the Molly Maguires, if they find out the foreman who was taking advantage of an individual, and they literally kill him. Not a joke. And they bring his body up and put him on the doorstep of his family.
Ah!
Kind of cruel.
Oh, look at Kamala. She's like, oh no. Joe, are you telling us that your grandpa might have, could have, maybe ended somebody's life? And they partook in that? That's what Kamala's thinking right now. Like, she's thinking like, Joe, don't cost me the election. Please, Joe. Please, Joe. Oh God, please, Joe. No, Joe. Don't do it, Joe. Don't do it. Look at that face. Look at that face right there that she has. Oh, I got to rewind it. I'm sorry. Hang on. Wow. Look, Kamala's bracing for it.
The mostly Catholic population that was in the mines. Not a joke. Not a joke. But there was a group that called the Molly Maguires. And the Molly Maguires, if they find out the foreman who was taking advantage of an individual, and they literally kill him. Not a joke. And they bring his body up.
Shit. I bet Trump is watching this and be like, can you believe I actually debated this guy? I'm just saying, folks. Okay, I got to stop pausing. Hold on, one more time.
If they find out the foreman who was taking advantage of an individual, and they literally kill him. Not a joke. And they bring his body up and put him on the doorstep of his family. Kind of crude. But I got to admit, they accused my great-grandfather of being a model where he wasn't. But we were so damn disappointed. You know, that's a joke. That's a joke. Look.
You could actually see a sigh of relief from Kamala, like, oh, thank goodness he wasn't a Molly Maguire. So in other words, Joe, you told that story of what? Your grandpa potentially being a Molly Maguire, but he was, okay, so he wasn't. So it wasn't down. So chances are, you know what he probably was? He was a rat. He was a rat. Ratting out on people. Can never trust a rat. Can never trust a rat. But there, again, are truly, like, looking at this story, looking at Biden speak, you have to remember that this is a person that people went to bat for. But there's no difference between Biden's senile actions and Kamala's goof troop acts, okay? This is a person, Kamala Harris, who, as vice president, stood by and also partook in the silencing and censorship of any kind of criticism towards Joe Biden. And again, just to remind you guys, there is no difference between Kamala or Biden. They're both out of their element. And even then, when it comes down to significant policies, they don't differ on anything at all.
Get the hostages out. Let's get the ceasefire done, but no change in policy in terms of arms and so forth. No, we have to get a deal done.
Yeah, that's one of the remarkable moments from that interview. The fact that there really is no daylight between President Biden and Vice President Harris when it relates to Israel and Gaza. Even as you've had progressives particularly push for an arms embargo on Israel, she hasn't shown any moves that would deviate from the president's strategy, even as there are major concerns within a state like Michigan from Arab American, Muslim American, and young voters about her stance towards Gaza. So we'll see how she navigates this as this all plays out in the coming weeks.
She can't navigate through shite. And even if there is a difference, please somebody explain it to me. Shout out again to Case Study QB, who's wrongly being censored. This is a administration with clownish behavior. Nothing will fundamentally change should Kamala get elected into the White House.
So, Brendan, Harris stood by President Biden's record, in part because it's also seen as her record, right? But as she preps for the debate, there is some tension within her team about how to separate herself from Biden, especially on issues like the withdrawal from Afghanistan. How does she walk that line?
Yeah, I think the difference is not necessarily a difference of policy, but more of tone. Her message is obviously much more optimistic, much more inclusive. By contrast, Biden's message about democracy being at threat was kind of dour, a little depressing. And so she doesn't necessarily have to break with him in substance, but she can present herself as a very different person. I think the other dynamic is she is able to talk about being mainstream, down the middle, because she has credibility with the left, and the left knows that she is, they don't have to worry about her. Whereas Joe Biden always seemed to be trying to convince progressives that he was someone that you could get excited about. And
I don't know what they're drinking at MSNBC. I don't know what's in their food or how they think, but they know damn well that's a lie. I mean, to the quote unquote progressives that are who were hyping up Biden and now by proxy hyping up Kamala, those aren't real progressives. Those are sellouts and frauds, backstabbing bastards who want to be connected with the establishment club.
And he had to, everybody, he was sort of coded center himself. It's the reverse here. I think she probably needs to prove to people that she is not too far left, where he was always trying to do that. And so just the way that they present themselves, even if the substance is all the same, the way that they present themselves is different. And I think it's really working for her.
That's all they got to say. Isn't that interesting? No, it's not. It's not interesting at all. You have Kamala putting on a clown show. You have Kamala trying to convince progressives, but at the same time, too, bringing out Joe Biden on the debate, on the stage, where he's rambling on and on about incoherent stuff. He's telling a story and then he forgets. He's talking and then he rambles on. He brings up the story about the Molly Maguires, which, hey, look, you learn something new every day. Talking about what they did, and you could see Kamala on that stage. But see, the thing is, I don't feel sorry for Kamala Harris because she encouraged this madness. She partook with the silence and censorship of any kind of criticism towards Joe Biden for those past 3.5 years. Never once was there any real talk about, hey, is Joe Biden really mentally fit to be president of the United States? Were the American people tricked? The answer is yes. So for all the suckers, voters, that thought that Joe Biden was as sharp as a tack individual, he was on his decline, and there he is in peak Biden form. But somebody mentioned in the live stream chat that he was going to, I think it was Prim54 who mentioned that Joe Biden has gone full Grandpa Simpson. But the thing is, that's not fair to do to a fictional character, because at least when Grandpa Simpson's telling a story, he at least keeps it on the point. Yes, he rambles on, but he doesn't embarrass himself like the president of the United States. And Kamala now is going to continue on with that legacy with more clown behavior. We're better than this. Somehow we thought scraping at the bottom of the barrel would be that. Theoretically, you want the cream of the crop.